Evan, this is a sad topic for Miami sports fans. The Miami Dolphins were 0-3. Tua Tagovailoa was not playing well. Tyreek Hill is not getting the ball. Jalen Waddle is not producing like he did in his rookie year. Jason Sanders is on the IL. What are we doing in Miami? And is it time to panic?
Yeah, it's time to panic. Absolutely. I think I didn't watch a lot of the Dolphins' first two games. I did watch them on Thursday night last weekend versus Buffalo. And is it time to panic because of the record? Yes, a lot of 0-3 teams don't make the playoffs, but not even necessarily that. I mean, the Dolphins have players, they have an offense, they have a Tua who's been around for a while and is a well-paid quarterback. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Achane, the running back, who has been playing very well. You have pieces to go on a run if you want to. So the record is concerning, but that's not like my biggest concern. My biggest concern is the locker room body language. You look at like the players in that Bills game I was watching, towels over their head when it's like a one-score game, like just looking like dead. Like Mike McDaniel looking like he's at a funeral when they're about to like get in the end zone or something like that. Like they were there was one sequence where they were in the red zone or something, and he just looked like he had no interest at all. And they played a close game versus Buffalo. It's a rivalry game. They played up to it. They did lose to it through a late pick. But that locker room just looks dead. And it also, with Tyreek Hill, very big ego. I would even say, and I'm curious what Jake feels about this as a Dolphins fan. I think Mike McDaniel, very big ego. Funny guy, nice guy, but you can clearly see he thinks very highly of himself. So all those egos colliding, all the dead energy in only September. My Tennessee Titans are going through some similar things to be fair, but currently right now. But I think that's really taking a toll. And obviously, yes, Tua is not playing well. He's a high paid quarterback. In that past game, he only threw for like 150 yards and had the game losing pick. That's not going to cut it when you're playing versus Josh Allen. So there's some definite problems on the playing field. There's some definite. We've had a lot of criticisms on the show of Greer, the Miami Dolphins GM, who looks like he's going to get fired if things don't get turned around. Um, in Miami, like the roster is not there's not enough depth and stuff like that. But they have an attitude problem, and that's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's time to panic in Miami.
All right. So, two ways I can answer this question. Record-wise, yes, it's definitely time to panic. You're 0-3. Meanwhile, if you have, hopes winning the division, the Bills are 3-0, so time to panic there. And the Bills also beat you, so, time to panic. But Jake mentioned that, Tua's not playing well, Tyreek's not getting the ball, Jalen Waddle's not producing. I mean, the defense, so when I saw the Dolphins in Week 1 against the Colts, I knew this was going to be a long year. I personally don't think very highly of Daniel Jones, but he was moving the ball up and down the field on the Dolphins defense. So I'm thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a long year. And then you go out and lose to the Patriots, and then yes, you play a close game against the Bills. But it's still a loss. So you're sitting there 0-3. Evan mentioned that the body language looked very concerning, especially on Thursday night against Buffalo. Mike McDaniel did not look like he wanted to be there, which I think he's getting fired soon. He might be the first NFL head coach this season to be fired, in my opinion. So yes, for me, it is definitely time for Dolphins fans to panic. But I mean, the good news is you got, your perennial punching bag in the Jets coming up. If you don't win that, I don't see how Mike McDaniel survives his job at that point if the Dolphins are 0-4.
So one thing I would say, Evan, if you want some betting advice, take Tua to throw an interception every game. You will cash every game. It's not a surprise that Tua throws a pick at
Jake,
this point.
that's probably a goblin line at this point on Prize Picks though, for all the people who know about that. But
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. No, but the second thing I would say, fire McDaniel, fire Greer, get rid of Tyreek, get rid of Tua, blow it all up, start all over again. Draft either Francisco Mendoza or Lenore Sellers next year. Start from there.
Okay, so that's
I
a Dolphins
am
fan saying start from and Jake is a very optimistic guy. Jake is not the guy posting on social media negative things about his team. I know Jake, he's brother, he's an optimistic guy. So Jake, for you to be saying that, that's pretty severe. You think there's no redeeming anything here.
I
no, there's no
definitely
redeeming anything. You know that Gary Swicker song? You know that Gary Swicker song? The Dolphins make me cry. The Dolphins make me cry every week, all right? Maybe not this week against the Jets, but every other week they make me cry. Against the Colts, against the Patriots, against the Bills. Come on, guys. Like our defense cannot stop a firefly at this point.
so one more thing I wanted to say about Tua. So I do not think he's a guy. I think the Dolphins messed that up in 2020 when they drafted him over Justin Herbert. So I agree with Jake. Get rid of Tua, maybe trade him this offseason, trade him in season, whatever you got to do, and then maybe draft Mendoza or Lenore Sellers, like Jake said.
Be fine with Garrett Nussmeier. Just get Tua out of there. I'm sorry.